So our next candidate for Deputy President of Wellbeing is Jordan Elliot. Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
Thanks for coming along today. Please could you just introduce yourself and tell us why students should vote for you for DPW next year?
Yeah, so hello, my name's Jordan. I'm a fifth year medical student. I have, so I'm in my second year currently as working class officer, and previously before that, I was involved in the Liberation Community Network committees. So I have a good few years of experience of being on the union and kind of the way it operates, and a good understanding of kind of, as I say in my manifesto, how if you're passionate about something, how you kind of translate that into something meaningful. I also recently founded the Neurodiversity Society, which aims to kind of raise the profile of neurodivergent individuals at Imperial. And I also do work outside of Imperial with a charity called Mind Health for Medical Students, and we are trying to get mental health sessions integrated into the medical school curriculum at Imperial, but also at other institutions. So I guess to kind of summarise, the reason you should vote for me is because I am motivated. I'm motivated by kind of social justice and helping others, and I also have that experience to kind of translate that passion into building something.
Nice, thanks. So in your manifesto, you mentioned your first priority as DPW would be to address barriers to mental health support, including stigma, affordability, and cultural barriers. So how would you go about this?
So one of the main things that I believe, one of the main things that I would like to see at Imperial is more proactive mental health support and less reactive. And what I mean by that is a lot of the support that has been given up until now is you have a mental health issue and you are in some kind of crisis or there's something acutely going on, and then you find the service that you need to go to, or you email your tutor and then they give you support, and then it's kind of eventually resolved. So what I want to see is more of a proactive stance, which is trying to put measures in place that stop students getting to that point in the first place. So one of the things that I'm quite keen to have is more space on campus dedicated to mental health, whether that be through some kind of student drop-in or just a space that students can go when they're feeling stressed out. Maybe neurodivergent students, if they're feeling a bit overwhelmed, having a space where you can go and kind of relax, just to kind of, I think even students just knowing that that space exists and kind of having mental health at the forefront of their mind as a kind of visual representation of the college's commitment to mental health, I think would be really helpful. I also would say that in terms of affordability, so obviously as working class officer, a lot of my work has been to do with the cost of living and trying to increase funding. I'm aware there's certain groups who don't get as much funding, and I would kind of try and address that. And in terms of cultural barriers, obviously when you're elected to a role, you have your own personal experience, but you can't represent every student. So it is important to talk to students, to get other people's point of view. And I think for cultural barriers, I would try and talk to students, try to understand what the barriers are, and then try and translate that to, feed that back to the college, try and get something practical that would address whatever concerns people have.
Nice, thanks Jordan. So both the university and the union have recognised that high workload is a driver for poor mental health at Imperial. How would you work with the uni to address this and improve mental health?
Yeah, I think high workload is there's not one kind of easy fix solution, because obviously you have to think about, obviously being at Imperial and being kind of high-flying academic students as we are, there is a certain amount of work that does have to be done. Now, with that being said, I do believe that there are things that could be done to try and lessen the impact of the work, and I'll be open to working with the Deputy President of Education and college staff as well to try and review, what parts of the course are necessary, what parts aren't, to try and make sure that everything that students are interacting with and everything that's put on students, they are kind of seeing rewards in terms of either academic success or well-being. Try and trim away all of the extra work that students aren't really benefiting from, but it's just kind of adding stress. And then the other thing as well is, I think this kind of ties in, I think a lot of stress is created with regards to the way that work is presented, and I'm aware that within the Neurodiversity Society, one of the things that's come up quite a lot is that disabled students' reasonable adjustments aren't being made. And as a DPW, I would be quite keen to kind of review that and try and push more for the college to, small things like releasing lecture slides before the lecture and making sure that text on slides is readable and recording lectures for people who feel overwhelmed by being in person. So would be open to kind of exploring more of these avenues that allow students to still engage with the course and still get the academics from it, but without kind of the added pressure that's associated with it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time, Jordan.
That's okay.
And good luck.
Thank you.